Team Rivalry Reaction.
All right, how's it going, Big Ten football fans? This is Mackenzie with Team Rivalry. Got part 2 of our recruiting reaction video coming at you. I believe last time we left off with Minnesota, so this time we will start with Illinois. But before I get into it too much, I kind of wanted to explain what I'm going to be talking about here. So I, admittedly, do not understand a lot about recruiting. Okay, so recruiting was kind of difficult for me to understand before NIL got big. I mean, obviously, like, I know you want, the better players, the more stars, the better the player, that kind of thing. Obviously, the prima donna complex comes into play there at some point too. So I guess I shouldn't say that I didn't understand it as much as I think that it's a lot more straightforward than what a lot of analysts and pundits make it seem like. And so for me, it's like so if we're starting with Illinois, I'm looking at this class and I'm seeing, okay, overall rank, 48. Not great. Not terrible, but not great. But I'm seeing 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. There's a 4-star down here somewhere. Here he is. Sabor Kareem, safety, 4-star. Okay, so to me, this still isn't that bad of a class. And frankly, I don't think that Illinois would be upset with this type of class anyway, specifically because Brett Bielema, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I thought it was Bielema, but I heard somebody else pronounce it differently recently. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever. I think that the type of coach that Brett Bielema is a very developmental coach. So I know I've kind of just dove straight into this, but that's what I do. I dive straight into the content. So to me, I'm looking at this recruiting class, and maybe if I were Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, I'd be upset with this. Given the fact that it's Illinois, if I were an Illinois fan, I would probably not be upset with this. If your goal for Illinois is to compete for a Big Ten championship this season, this probably isn't going to be the class to get you there. I mean, I don't know that it would be anyway, because, generally freshmen, it's rare that a freshman has as immediate an impact as, like, if you have a star freshman player, those things are kind of rare. Certainly, there have been players who have emerged as freshmen that have amazing seasons. Donovan Edwards last season, 2021, I believe he was a freshman, right? Yeah, they were a freshman. J.J. McCarthy had a really good freshman season. He didn't even play that much. So this type of class is a class that I would say probably isn't going to get Illinois over the hump this year. And it's not necessarily because of the class's fault. It's because I think that Illinois is kind of in developmental mode and will be for the next couple of seasons. But you should still be kind of excited about a class like this because, 3s and 4 stars. What was their 2022 class like? That was I think that was Bielema's first recruiting class, was it not? Yeah, 63. Okay, and those guys in 2022 took Illinois they had statistically the best scoring defense in the Big Ten. And let's see, we've got, mostly 3 stars and stuff like that. So there's a lot of really good developmental talent here. I don't think that 3 stars are, like, a class full of 3 stars is really that bad of a thing. I mean, Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State built a lot of success off of the back of 3-star recruiting classes. So I don't think that that's really something to be, upset about. Now, again, they're 3 stars, so that they might require a little bit more development than, say, your average 5-star. But again, I don't really know. I don't know the difference because they're all individuals, right? Individuals have the ability to be good or bad based on just their own choices, really. If they want to be good, they'll practice, they'll get good at the game. Maybe it's not a good fit with the program. There are a lot of variables that go into whether or not a player is good at a particular school. And I'd say like 75% of those variables are how they behave at the school. Not necessarily like, their social behavior, but literally how they, are they practicing a lot? Are they focused on the game? Are they staying out of trouble? Are they, listening to their coaches? And then the other 20-25% is the coach any good? Is the program doing what they want to do? If you're a wide receiver and you go to a school that likes to hand the ball off, Michigan, excuse me, I choked there for a second, then you might not be as successful as you would be at, say, an Ohio State. However, if you're a running back, heck yeah, you'll go to Michigan. You'd probably go to Ohio State too, because they usually have a good run game too. But anyway, so that's Illinois. Illinois, not looking too shabby. Brett Bielema, I feel like Brett Bielema is going to turn Illinois into what Wisconsin was when he was at Wisconsin, which would be super fascinating to watch. Number 7 in the Big Ten is Iowa. Iowa is definitely one of the more fascinating classes. So overall rank 47, composite rank 40, transfer rank 42. Now, this is a fascinating class specifically for me as a Michigan fan because they stole our quarterback. Where is he? Transfers. Eric All, Cade McNamara. Here he is. So as a high school... he lost a star. Whoops. Well, anyway. I don't like it when people say, "Oop, ow, I just hit my knee against the desk." I'm really upset about them taking Cade McNamara. No, I think that Cade McNamara, just to get this elephant out of the room, is an extremely good fit for Iowa. I know he started to take umbrage with whatever was going on at Michigan. He didn't have exactly the kindest words to say on his way out, but there's no doubt that Michigan fans still owe him an unpayable debt of gratitude because he, after all, is, the first quarterback since Denard Robinson to beat Ohio State. Okay, and he's the first quarterback since, I don't know, whoever the quarterback was in 2004. Was that Chad Henne? Man, that was a long time ago to win a Big Ten championship. So, Michigan fans owe him a debt of gratitude for sure. Eric All's run against Penn State that kept Michigan in the running for the Big Ten championship was everything. I mean, that was last minute, got to have a score, and McNamara and Eric All did it. That was an awesome play. So knowing that Iowa is the type of program that they are, they run a very traditional offense. It looks to me, I admittedly don't understand offensive structure as well. I understand it fine enough just from a casual viewer's point of view, but like Iowa doesn't really do, as far as I know, they don't really do anything that resembles the spread, even as like novelty plays or anything like that. They're very pro style, I want to say. So with that being said, what do we have going on here? Well, we've got some 3 stars. We've got a 4-star here in Ben Kwetter, linebacker. So, and that's going to be the big thing for Iowa is whether or not they can keep up. Honestly, for me, it's whether or not they can keep up the talent on defense. I mean, their defense was incredible last year. They generated turnovers on turnovers. It was pretty much what kept them in a lot of games. Because the offense wasn't moving the ball hardly at all, and that's probably where Eric All and Cade McNamara are going to fill in some gaps. Now, I don't know necessarily if you could say that they're going to be their entire offense. So if we're looking at college football stat leaders, this is the Big Ten. Iowa doesn't show up in the top 5 in any offensive category. However, in defensive categories, they were the number 4th best defense in the Big Ten in terms of points, yards allowed 3rd best, and then 5th best in sacks. So I'm actually kind of surprised. This all seems a little bit low to me considering how good they seemed last season on defense. But, they obviously lost more games than they were hoping to for a reason, right? And a lot of that was because the offense couldn't move the ball. So we've got offensive tackles, we've got athletes, we've got safeties, we've got edge rushers, tight ends, another edge rusher. We've got another quarterback coming in. He's a 3-star. He's got an 86, almost an 87. Cade McNamara is an 88 right now, so that might be a QB battle next year. Nope, sorry, Cade McNamara is going to be gone next year, so please ignore the fact that I just said that thing that was so stupid. In any case, this year is going to be the year that Iowa needs to figure out some sort of modern identity on offense, or they're not going anywhere again. Now, defense will maybe win them a couple of games, but offense, they've really got to get something going on offense. And yeah, it's good they've got Cade McNamara and Eric All coming in, but you can't build an entire offense off of 2 players. Maryland coming in hot with a number 16 transfer ranking, number 32 overall ranking, 36 composite. Let's see what we got here. Right off the bat, we've got 3 4-stars. We got an athlete, we got an edge rusher, we got another edge rusher. 6'5", 230, 6'4", 204. I'm almost as big as this guy. Maybe I should play football. I should have. I really should have. We got cornerback. We've got athlete. We've got 3 stars the rest of the way down. We have a 3-star quarterback coming in. 5'11", 200 pounds. Seems a little short. Is 5'11" short for a quarterback? I feel like it might be. But it also just depends on how well he can move in the pocket or outside the pocket. If he can get outside the pocket and, find somebody downfield, then what does it matter? This, however, man, oh man, this is a solid transfer class. So we got a tackle here, a 4-star transfer tackle. No idea where he's coming from. Wide receiver from West Virginia. He got better, which is good. Good job for that guy. Offensive tackle from LSU. Looks like he actually lost a star. Defensive line, 3-star. Safety, 4-star from the U. We got what the heck is an SDE? Strong side defensive end? I don't know. From SFU. Is that St. Francis? Okay. 3-star. Wide receiver from Florida International. It just says FIU. He gained a star, so good for him. And then a cornerback. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 5. Is that interior offensive line? I'm not sure. We got 4 transfers coming in on defense, it looks like. So that'll be huge because looking at the Big Ten defensive statistics, where's Maryland? They're not in the top 5 in anything. So they're really going to need some help on defense. And they did need help on defense. They needed a lot of help on defense last season. They had a decent defense, but let a couple of games slip in the stretch because they just couldn't close out. Offensively speaking, so number 4 in offensive leaders, number 3 in passing, and then rushing because it was basically the Talia Tagovailoa show, which is fine because he's fantastic, and I believe he's coming back for 1 more year if I'm not mistaken. But Maryland's problem is that they're like I just said, it's the Talia Tagovailoa show. So they're one-dimensional on offense, and then their defense just wasn't strong enough to keep up with the Big Ten's best. If they can fix a couple of those things, give Talia some help on offense, and then maybe get a stronger defense going, then they got something interesting in the works over there at Maryland. Nebraska. Wow. Kind of a turnaround all of a sudden, like, for Nebraska in terms of their recruiting. Let's see. What was their... Okay. Oh my. So this is the 2022 transfer class, was number 7 for Nebraska. This is obviously Scott Frost's last year because he got fired 3-4 weeks in, and he had the number 7 transfer class coming in. Oh my goodness. You have, oh my goodness, he had 3s and 4-stars coming from the SEC and the Big 12. He had, okay, so Texas is going to be in the SEC. He had a 3-star wide receiver coming from Texas. He had a 4-star defensive lineman coming from Alabama and a 4-star safety coming from Alabama as well. Another defensive lineman coming from Texas Tech. Edge rusher from TCU. You got a quarterback from, Chubba Purdy. I forgot about that. Jeez. Man, Scott Frost, what happened, buddy? That sucks. Seems like a great guy. It's terrible that it didn't work out at Nebraska. But Matt Rhule is taking over in 2023. He's got the number 21 transfer rank. But I think, so if 2022 overall ranking was 32, 2023 overall ranking is 29, so moved up a couple of spots. So really, recruiting didn't suffer terribly much, and in fact actually got better in the composite, but a little bit worse in the transfer ranking with the transition over to the new coach. So that's super interesting. Going to see how I'd be interested to see how this plays out. So he's got 4-star. We got a couple of edge rushers. Ooh, they're going to be nasty on defense. That's awesome. 250, 225, 6'4", 6'3". Those are some big guys on defense. That's pretty good. You got another edge rusher, 3-star, but he's 6'4", 225. Solid get. Oh, and he's a hometown guy, too. Omaha, Nebraska. Is that Maverick Noonan? Man, nice name there, Maverick. That's awesome. Good, strong kid there. Another edge rusher. Ooh, they're going to be big on defense. That's a big line that they've got coming in, especially for modern day football needing, fast guys on defense, but also solid edge rushers and stuff like that. So good for them. Let's see, what do we have in terms of transfers? Oh my goodness. You've got 4-star, a tackle, a tight end, and an edge rusher all coming from Georgia. Now, why are they transferring from Georgia? Probably because they weren't starters. Does it matter? No, it doesn't, because if you're Nebraska and you're rebuilding your Big Ten, outlook, if you're trying to become more relevant in the region, because you need to become relevant in your region because before you become relevant nationally. Okay, Michigan just wrote the masterclass on this over the last 2 seasons. Meaning that, 2023 is basically national championship or bust. That's the point I'm trying to make there. But Nebraska is trying to rebuild their identity in the Big Ten, possibly even in just the Big Ten West at this point. And this transfer class is going to help with that. He basically just, wow, okay, so he's got tackles, tight ends, edge rushers, wide receivers, another tackle, defensive line, wide receiver, right? Defensive line? I think so. Wide receiver, linebacker, quarterback, Jeff Sims from Georgia Tech. Oh, how about that? See, I don't really keep up on recruiting very well, so this is interesting to me. This is why I'm reacting the way that I am, is because I don't pay attention. That's why. So he's got a solid class coming in, and then a really good transfer class coming in too. So Nebraska, watch out, because honestly, I don't know how many transfers they lost from last season, so I don't know who's left on the team at this point. Who was on the team last season that's going to be on the team this season. I don't know who they lost. I know that they lost a defensive player, I believe a linebacker, to Michigan. So there's that. But if Matt Rhule can develop these players and have a good game plan coming into each game, then you better watch out for Nebraska. That was kind of Scott Frost's problem, is they kind of had some, I don't know, I don't want to say necessarily that the play calling was bad, because, again, Michigan fan, didn't pay a whole lot of attention to Nebraska, even though we're a Big Ten channel. I should probably, do that, but whatever. We'll get there. Nebraska's weird, bizarre problem was that they just couldn't close games. They all seemed... Well, let's look on Team Rivalry website real quick here. This is Illinois' 2022 schedule. Nebraska's 2022 schedule was... Yeah, so this game against Northwestern was a head-scratcher. A head-scratcher because we know how Northwestern season ended. But also, I don't think that any of us really expected... I think we expected better from Nebraska's defense, specifically. Okay, and we also didn't expect... I want to say there were a couple of turnovers that Nebraska committed as well. This is where the Georgia Southern game here is where we really started to see, okay, there is an issue with Nebraska's defense, and then it was punctuated by the Oklahoma loss. I believe it was after the Georgia Southern game that Scott Frost got fired, and then I can't remember the other guy who took over. I'm getting a phone call. The Indiana game, they had a bounce back. Rutgers defense stepped up, but let's be honest, Rutgers wasn't exactly strong on offense last season. Although they did put up 17 points against Michigan, so there's that. And then it was just a stack of losses the rest of the way, except for Iowa. Again, Iowa, guys, what are you doing? Just whatever. Anyway, so defensively speaking, they needed some help. Offensively, there was definitely something there. I mean, 28 points, 38 points, 42 points. Nothing happened here, but the coach just got fired, so whatever. they needed help. They need help on both sides of the ball. But if he can build up a solid defense, then I think Nebraska might actually be an interesting team to watch out of the West. Not saying that they'll be like favored or anything, but they'll definitely be interesting. Anyway, my computer's about to die, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your channel so you don't miss any of our latest Big Ten news reactions and all that. Let us know how trash our takes are in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video. This is Team Rivalry.
Team Rivalry Reaction.